Interesting stuff going on here with this National Defense Authorization Bill, the NDA. Speaker John Boehner, this from Christina Wong, writing over at The Hill. Speaker John Boehner announced Monday that he will sign the 2016 Defense Policy Bill on Tuesday, setting in motion the 10 days that President Obama will have to follow through on his promised veto. Jordan Carney, writing for also The Hill, notes Obama has threatened to veto every NDAA since he became president. The White House, however, has avowed that the president will carry out the threat this year. The Senate Democrats have vowed to sustain that veto. Mitch McConnell is saying, this from Politico, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, according to a first report published by CNN, plans to make several major demands of the White House, including changes to Medicare, Social Security, and EPA regulations. Cut Medicare, cut Social Security, cut regulations from the EPA as his price for raising the nation's debt limit. This is another, kind of a collision piece of legislation that's coming a little farther than that. But if the Republicans shut down the government over the NDAA, you got pay and benefits for 1.4 million active duty troops and 827,000 troops in reserves that goes away. Benefits for 4 million disabled vets. Payment for health care for nearly 5.9 million veterans at VA hospitals and health centers. Education assistance for 1.1 million veterans. Home loan support for 630 million veterans. It can't be 630,000 veterans, excuse me. Payments to nearly 1 million doctors and other healthcare practitioners who provide healthcare to Medicare beneficiaries. Payments to schools for nutritious meals. 30 million children are participating. And payments to almost 50,000 National Institutes of Health grantees who are conducting life-saving medical research and provide 300,000 jobs. So why would anyone support shutting down the government over this? Romina Boccia is on the line with us, the Grover N. M. Herman Fellow in Budgetary Affairs with the Rowe Institute for Economic Policy Studies at the Heritage Foundation, the website heritage.org. Romina, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining us. What's with the Republican Party? Why is it so important to Republicans to voucherize Medicare, or at least make it into something that, some billionaire can make a buck off of, to privatize Social Security and cut back on benefits for veterans? I don't understand it.
It's not true that this is a priority for them, because although they included those as proposals in their budget plan, there has been no attempt to actually enact any of these proposals. I haven't seen legislation to actually do any of these things. The committees aren't working on it. So
they've been in all the Republican budgets, haven't they?
It's been it's in the Republican budget, but that's as far as it has come. It unfortunately has not actually been a priority for the Congress. But the reason why it should be is, if you're looking at Medicare premium support, or vouchers as you call it, the Congressional Budget Office showed that proposal alone would save seniors and the government money. So we're actually doing something that would help seniors, because when Medicare costs go up, premiums rise, and Medicare premium support, by relying on competition to keep costs down, would actually save seniors money as well.
So wait a second. Let me get this straight. What you're trying to tell me, if I'm hearing you right, Romina, is that if right now Medicare runs on a 2.5% to 3% overhead, because there's no billionaire stockholders, there's no CEOs like Stephen J. Helmsley at United Healthcare, who has taken over $1 billion in compensation. Every penny of that came from saying to some child, "No, I will not replace your liver. No, you are going to die." And you know that as well as I do.
That's not true at all.
There are no stockholders that Medicare has to pay. There are no dividends they have to pay. How possibly, by privatizing Medicare, by voucherizing Medicare, your so-called premium support, how possibly are you going to reduce the cost by putting them in the hands of these banksters like Stephen Helmsley at United Healthcare?
What you're missing out on is all the improper payments that flow through the Medicare system, all the windfalls that doctors are getting. Were you not reading the Washington Post stories about doctors who are making millions of dollars, tens of millions every year, by making Medicare claims? Where do you think that money comes from? There's no
those
bottom line in the government.
Those people are going to jail.
There's no bottom line in Medicare, but there's so much more fraud going on. There are wheelchairs.
You don't think that there's fraud?
Nobody gets.
Are you trying to tell me that United Healthcare doesn't pay out fraudulent payments?
Less so, because they actually have a bottom line where they're trying to figure out if that is happening and cut down on it. We don't really have a healthcare market in this country.
I don't believe it. We pay 30 to 50% more for healthcare than any of the other industrialized countries on this planet, and it's because people like Stephen J. Hemsley are skimming it off the top. It's because we've got a healthcare system based on banksters.
No, we don't have a market. We have the government colluding with pharmaceuticals, with healthcare companies. It is the big guys against the little guy. We pay more for healthcare because we don't have a real market. There's no real competition here. You can pay tens of thousands.
You're making a great argument. Why did the Heritage Foundation support Billy Towson and pharma in saying that the government cannot negotiate the price of pharmaceuticals for Medicare Part D? Why were you with George Bush on that? That was the ultimate. It's a $600 billion giveaway to the pharmaceutical industry. Billy Towson left Congress 6 months early so he could take a $2 million salary as the head of the lobbying group.
I don't know what you're talking about because that's not my issue area. I've only been here since 2011. Was that before 2011?
Yeah, it was in 2005.
Oh, okay, so I'm sorry. I can't take responsibility for that. But my point is, if you look at Germany, I'm from Germany, okay? We have pretty much universal health care, but it's not run by the government. It's run by nonprofit and private organizations.
Medicare's not run by the government. No, I lived in Germany for a year. I've used the German healthcare system. Ich kann Deutsch sprechen here.
Oh, very nice.
Aber, single payer system is not there's two kinds of European systems, shall we say. In the United Kingdom, the doctors are employees of the government. The hospitals are owned by the government. But in Germany, the doctors are not government employees, and the hospitals are not owned by the government. Or actually, some of them are. Some of them are not. But the government is the single payer by and large. That's the system that Bernie Sanders is suggesting: Medicare for everybody. Are you saying that that's a good thing?
No, that's not how it works. We actually have more competition in Germany than you have in the United States because more than half of the healthcare market is run by government programs like Medicare and Medicaid. And so you have these huge price differences between hospitals in the United States where you can get a procedure in one place and 2 miles down the road, you're paying $30,000 more for the same thing. I have a health savings account, and a lot of the savings over previous years have come from companies adopting high-deductible plans with health savings accounts where consumers are finally acting as consumers in the healthcare sector, and they want to know what is it going to cost because they actually have a stake in it, because if they don't spend the money, they get to keep it. We need more consumer choice. We need patients that are in charge, not the
How can you do that when how can you say that when you've got 40 million people in this country living in poverty? They're not going to sit around and say, "Gee, I need a procedure. It's going to cost me $3,000 just for the deductible. So I need to call 4 different heart surgeons and interview them." I mean, seriously? You lived in Germany. You can walk into any doctor in Germany and they will see you the same day. I've done it.
No, you actually do have to wait.
Well, I can tell you, I've
been getting faster treatment in the United States, actually. So when it comes to treatment speed, I've been having more luck here than in Germany, where it could take, you're sitting there for hours trying to get a doctor's appointment. But it obviously depends on where you live.
That was absolutely not my experience.
So we are talking still about the debt limit, I hope, and not just about health care.
Sure, okay.
I do have other colleagues that can, talk about
we're just about out of time here, but what's your point on the debt limit? Go for it.
Yes, so I think that what we should keep in mind is that why we reached a debt limit, not just, we're going to default, is Congress going to raise the debt limit? But the point is, this is like your alarm clock going off. Are you going to hit snooze and go back to sleep, or are you going to rise up and face the challenges of the day?
No, this is your credit card bill coming due. Are you going to pay your bill?
Yeah, but you can pay your bill, but that doesn't mean that you therefore have to continue overspending. Well,
those are two separate things. Raising the debt limit has nothing to do with spending. It's just paying the bill for spending that's already happened.
Yeah, but we need to stop overspending, and the debt limit is a reminder that we're spending too much.
Okay, all right, you got it. Hang on just a second.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
Romina Boccia was with us, Grover M. Herman Fellow in Federal Budgetary Affairs of the Heritage Foundation, heritage.org. Thank you, Romina.
Thanks for having me.